Yeah. First off, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
What did you get? What does Noah Wyle get? What does he do for his birthday?
He didn't want to do very much at all, I'm told. No, he was forced into having a small dinner party with some friends, and it actually ended up being a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
ER, Falling Skies, both have the common denominator of Steven Spielberg. How does that phone call go? That's got to be odd. Noah, it's Steven. Look, I found the perfect part for you. We're going to have aliens, and you're going to be shooting them, and you're going to love it.
I wish I'd gotten that phone call. That would have been cool. Yes, I've worked for him now for almost 20 years, and still, the thrill hasn't worn off working with the most masterful storyteller of my generation. But the call came from Michael Wright. The call came from TNT. Due to a relationship I've built up with them over the last couple of years making these librarian movies, Michael wanted to make this show, and so he offered it to me, and Steven signed off on that.
What did he tell you about the character that you were going to be playing?
He used Tom Hanks's character in Saving Private Ryan as a model. Used Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, and we referenced a lot of old war movies that Gregory Peck would have played in, Jimmy Stewart, Henry Fonda. This notion that this isn't a John Wayne movie, it's a Henry Fonda movie, was significant. But more than that, his fingerprints and his involvement with the show it's everywhere, but it's hard to define. He comes up with the right line of dialogue that fixes a scene, or he makes a suggestion in editing that suddenly makes the scene work, or he designs the aliens and spaceships in a way that we haven't seen yet, which is incredibly novel. His participation just enhances the project at every level of production.
Your character, Tom Mason, really couldn't be more different than John Carter.
True.
But not so different from Noah Wyle in that
We're
you're
all
both
the same height.
But you're also a father on the show,
yes.
And you're a father in real life. What's it like to bring that part of your life to the screen?
It was a compelling factor. I really wanted to explore, this notion of fatherhood, this notion of leadership, this notion of loss, and how to bounce back from tragedy. Those were the three themes that I found most compelling about the pilot script that I was anxious to dive into. And yeah, being a father of two kids gives you this well to draw from that really wasn't there before I had kids, and it's a very rich mind to field.
And will we be seeing some of those, even though you're thrust into the leadership role, you're still the everyday man, we're going to see some of those vulnerabilities and weaknesses?
Yeah, he's a reluctant hero. Given his choice, he'd probably just keep his boys and himself alive, but he's given this larger responsibility to lead these 300 civilians out of the city of Boston and become a kind of de facto military commander. But he does it kicking and screaming.
By nature of the show, I doubt that anyone's ever going to come up and ask you for any alien invasion advice. But no doubt, countless times over the years, someone has come up and asked for your medical opinion.
Yes.
What is the most awkward of those times?
Oh, they're all awkward. Because you don't know if it's just an icebreaker or if somebody's actually delusional enough into thinking that you can treat them. Or if you get delusional enough to thinking that you can't.
Yeah.
I found myself oftentimes going, oh, actually, I think I treated that once. Are you experiencing any of these symptoms? So, yeah, the whole thing's kind of awkward. I get it less and less now, thankfully.
Yeah, one more medical question. I noticed in the pilot you were walking past a triage area that Moon was working on some patients. I remember the cast of VR talking about some of the dialogue that they had to spew and to memorize. She doesn't have to memorize squadouche. I mean, she has no medical lingo at all. Are you a bit pissed off by that?
No, it's fair. She doesn't know how fortunate she was having me on set as the on-set technical advisor. She's been running around with a machine gun all the rest of her work, and I've been running around with a stethoscope. This was transference.